Northern Territory Chief Minister Natasha Fyles has told Sky News alcohol bans should return to Alice Springs town camps by the end of next week. Her government will pass urgent legislation to return the bans after pressure from the federal government.
Owen Cole has spent most of his life in and around Alice Springs. He's worried about what's happening in his hometown, but he says the problems stem from the dysfunction in surrounding Indigenous communities.
If you don't fix the problems in a remote community where, massive underinvestment has occurred over many years, you're not going to resolve the problems in Alice Springs.
Cole manages the Yeparenya shopping centre in the middle of Alice Springs. He says there's been a surge in violence in the past 6 months.
I think relaxing the restrictions on town camps has had a detrimental impact. There's no doubt about it.
The Northern Territory Government will introduce legislation in the Parliament next week to reintroduce the alcohol restrictions, which lapsed last July.
So the simple answer is I envisage it'll be in place in the Northern Territory by the end of next week. The process for that is it will go through the Northern Territory Parliament on urgency so that we can see that take place.
The government has been criticised for allowing grog to return to the town camps without alcohol management plans in place. Despite reversing the decision, the Chief Minister is refusing to apologise.
Matt, we've done an enormous amount of work in alcohol reform, and some people agree with what we've done and some people disagree. We also try and balance that with the fact it's a legal product, and also, that we have people that were based on their address, which was predominantly Aboriginal people, so you have those factors at play.
Owen Cole says he's torn over the alcohol restrictions, which the government has previously described as race-based policy.
Every Aboriginal person has got the right to drink, but we need to just make sure that with that you're responsible for your behaviour.
There's little doubt lifting the bans has had a devastating effect. Alcohol-related hospital presentations have risen 55% since the policy changed last July. And a report released this week from Central Australian Regional Controller Darrell Anderson showed property crime was at an all-time high.
We've seen the data, the statistics, if you look through particularly November, December, those changes were having an impact within our community, but also on the alcohol-related data with police and health. So it was certainly, needed to look at that, and we've done so.
Alice Springs has long had its issues, but speaking to people on the ground here, you can tell they believe things are worse now than they've ever been before. But there is some hope that the events of the past 3 weeks will act as something of a circuit breaker, allowing this beautiful town to once again be the proud red heart of this country.
I'm hoping that the long-term solution is there'll be programs put in place to teach Aboriginal people, the ones who've got drinking problems, to drink more responsibly and to look after your children a bit better than what's happened in some cases.
Matt Cunningham, Sky News, Alice Springs.